Welcome back. This is the Programmer Owl, and today I have a new free coding resource for you, freecodecamp.org. Today I'm going to talk about the site's curriculum. I'm going to go through a lesson, go through one of their projects, and then end up by going over their interview coding challenges. So you may have heard of this website before. It is very, very popular, and it is a very quality resource that is completely for free. And one thing that I love about it is that it seems to continue to evolve based on technology and the types of coding that people are interested in, or new languages that people need to learn. And because I remember when I first started using this, probably back in like 2015, 2016, I don't think there were nearly as many certifications as there are now listed. I feel like it's just continuing to grow and expand. So this is really a good resource for beginners, people that don't really have any experience with web design or different types of coding. But it's also a good resource for people who are in intermediate or advanced level too, I believe. So some of the certifications they have are responsive web design certification. So they give you some lessons, and then they have a project at the end to get your certification. They have JavaScript, algorithms, and data structures. So these first two are kind of lengthy. There's a lot to them. And then there's front-end library certifications, like Bootstrap, jQuery, Sass, React Redux, data visualization, APIs and microservices, like MongoDB, NPM, quality assurance certification. Then they have 3 certifications that are with Python: scientific computing, data analysis, and machine learning. They even have an information security certification that includes Helmet.js and Python again. And then there's the coding interview prep. So let's look at a lesson. Oh, and I wanted to make one point. They say that they're 300 hours, and I think overall it does take quite a bit of time. I don't know exactly how many hours it takes, but going through the actual lessons is a pretty quick thing. Like, you could probably get through a whole certification topic within a week. If you put in about 3 or 4 hours a day, you can easily get through all the lessons. What takes the bulk of the time are the projects. They have 5 projects for each certification area, and those are really what takes up most of the time. So let's look at JavaScript. Let's look at basic JavaScript. So they start off very basic and very easy. So if you're an experienced programmer, you probably don't always need some of these lessons, unless there's just like a topic you don't feel that strong in. I would probably skip over most of this if you're intermediate or advanced. If you've never dealt with this stuff before, even though some of them are easy, it kind of helps build up your confidence and also gives you kind of some experience with the format of the language, what it looks like. So I would recommend, even doing the easy ones. So subtract one number from another with JavaScript. That's very easy. It's kind of intuitive how to do it, but let's just do this easy one kind of as an example. So over here, they'll give some background information, maybe even an example. Then they give you some workspace to do the little problem that they're going to ask you to do. They even give you a rubric of what they expect to happen when you modify this area over here. So basically, subtraction. They're telling you that even in all programming languages, minus sign subtracts. So they want you to change the 0 so that the difference is 12. So 45 minus 33 should equal 12. So the variable difference should equal 12. I think if I have my math right, that should be what it is. And you should subtract one number from 45. I think I have done what they have asked. So let's run the test, and I passed. Yay! And you can go on to the next challenge, and this time they're working with multiplying. So now let's look at their project. So you've seen what a lesson looks like. Let's look at a project. So build a tribute page. This is under web design. So they're going to have an objective. They're going to have an example usually of what it's going to look like when all is said and done. And then they give you specifics on how they want it done. Like I should see a div element with a corresponding ID, image, div. So you can, once you have decided what you want your project to be and you've included all of the elements, they're going to give you a chance to test it out. So this is what the website, I'm going to refresh this so it can be done again. So this is what the website looks like, the CodePen. And just a quick note about CodePen, it is a very cool website. It's not just for Free Code Camp. You can use it for your other projects too. So it's well worth signing up for. It's another free thing that you can do, and you can design some really nice things. So we had all those objectives to try to pass, and so this is their example. It's a pretty simple web page. You know, they're not asking you very much the first time. They just want you to incorporate what you've learned from the lessons. So it's basically just an image and some text and then a link. And when you think you have all the elements, you can run the test and you should get, 10 out of 10. And you can even click on this and, if you had any areas that you didn't pass, they would tell you. And if you passed everything, they'll go into further detail about that. And then once you have passed all the tests, you can put your solution here. And it will save to your portfolio so that you can see all the work and the projects that you've done for this certification. So I've gone over the curriculum a little bit in a lesson and a project. The last thing I wanted to talk about was their interview coding prep. So if you're a beginner, definitely do the lessons. If you're intermediate or advanced level, I would just go straight to the projects. See if you can pass those. I mean, even if they're easy for you, they might be something good for a portfolio to show potential employers. So the last thing is the coding interview prep, and this is also really good for it is good for interview practice, but it's good for intermediate/advanced experienced programmers. And they just have a ton of different challenges. So take home projects. So they have different things, like if you wanted to work on an API, it says build a Wikipedia viewer. And they have a similar style to the project, and it's also on CodePen. And another cool thing about CodePen is you could just, instead of using your Free Code Camp portfolio, you could show potential employers your CodePen portfolio with all of your projects there too. So this was my newest free coding resource, freecodecamp.org. Until next video.